The boy pulled out a grenade and tossed it into the water. He hoped the blast would help him catch some fish, but instead, he found floating corpses. To survive, the boy disguised himself as a dead body, lying still on the shore and waiting for the right moment. When a wild dog lunged at him, he threw up his arm to block it, then quickly drew his knife and killed it. When he brought the kill back to his father scolded him for not removing the organs first. The dog meat had been tainted by toxins and was now inedible. All they could do was skin the dog and hope to trade the hide for food. They went to their neighbor's house hoping to barter the dog skin for some fish, but the neighbor, armed with a gun, accused the boy of killing his dog. He took the skin and tossed them just a few small fish in return. The boy never forgot that insult. The next morning, the neighbor showed up at their door again with his gun. He shoved the barrel into the father's mouth, accusing the boy of stealing his grenade. The boy denied it, but to protect his father, he quickly handed over a piece of silk. Only then did the neighbor leave. Right after, the boy's father slapped him across the face. The boy couldn't understand why his father was being so harsh. The next morning, he finally had something to be happy about. He caught a big fish. He rushed to tell his father the good news, but tragedy had struck. He found his father lying on top of his notebook. Years of eating poisonous plants had finally caught up with him, and he'd died from the toxins. The boy decided to give his father a burial at sea. He wrapped him in a waterproof tarp and pushed him into the water. After that, he went to the neighbor's house. When the man wasn't looking, the boy knocked him out cold, releasing all the anger he'd been holding in. Then he tied the neighbor up and left him to drown in the water. The boy searched the house for supplies, took a knife and a handgun, and left the place he'd called home for 18 years. At a distant estate, he ran into two farmers. He threatened them at gunpoint, demanding food and help deciphering the notebook. They agreed, but only if the boy worked their land first. After he plowed the fields, they read just one page and stopped. The boy realized he'd been played. The farmers led him to a warehouse where a woman was locked in a cage. When he got a good look at her, she told him her father could read, so the boy snuck her out. But one of the farmers had secretly stolen the notebook. The boy quickly drew his knife and stabbed the farmer. The other farmer attacked, trying to kill him, until the woman stabbed him from behind. Supporting each other, the two made their escape, but halfway across the water, the girl admitted her father had never learned to read. He was illiterate. The boy was furious, but he had nowhere else to go. With no other choice, he followed the girl back to her home, but her father was already dead. They burned the house down in his memory and prepared to wander together. The world, however, was a dangerous place. While searching for someone who could read, they were captured by thugs and taken to an abandoned factory. The boy and the woman were separated. Facing death, the boy made one last request, that the thug read the notebook to him. The thug was moved by the father's loving words, but when the gang leader discovered what was happening, he cut off the man's ear. Even so, the thug kept reading. Finally, the boy understood his father's deep love and how badly he'd wanted his son to leave and live strong and free. The violent man thought of his own son and decided to protect the boy. He freed him and wiped out the entire gang, but stayed behind himself. In the end, the boy rescued the woman, and together they escaped the factory by boat.